Yes, good morning, my dear children. Let us continue the remaining part of your lesson today, children. Okay? Yes. Open page number 20, children. We are continuing the part of the lesson. I am Colin. Okay? Yes. I am 10 and so are you, replied Mary. Before starting the lesson, children, what was the lesson about? It was a lesson about a boy who was just always staying in the room, right? Yes, and he had some illness and he couldn't walk and he always stayed in the dark room. Okay, and the girl came there and she wanted to find out who was the boy crying, and she came inside and she started to speak up with a boy, right? Yes, now let us know what happens, children. Let us continue the story. So the boy had asked the girl that, how old are you? So the girl, Mary, what she said that, I am 10 and so are you, replied Mary. Yes, and given your 10, right? Mary said. Yes. How do you know that? The boy asked that, how do you know that I am also 10 years old? Because when you were born, the garden was locked and it has been 10 years since then. So when you was born, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, this garden was locked. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು and it has been 10 years ಆ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ so it has been 10 years 10 years ಆಗಿದೆ ಆ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. That is the reason I know that you are 10 years old. What garden? Colin demanded in a surprised voice. So Colin don't know about that garden, so he asked Mary that what was that garden been locked? ಯಾವ garden ಅದು, ಏನದು ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು? he asked, he demanded in a surprised voice. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. Who locked it? And ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರು ಅದನ್ನ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು? The boy asked Mary. Understood, children? Yes. Mr. Craven locked the door to the garden and buried the key. So what happened, children? So who locked it? Mr. Craven locked the door to the garden and buried the key. Mr. Craven means that boy's father locked that and he had buried the key. Means key na mannal haki ಮುಚ್ಚಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Answered Mary. Okay, so Mary said this. Colin half sat up. So he was somewhat curious. ಯಾಕೆ ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. He sat up on the bed. Half sat up. Kneeling on his elbows. ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ. Where was the key buried? ಅಂದರೆ ಕೀ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಯಾಗಿತ್ತು? He exclaimed suddenly, very much interested. So he was very much interested in this topic. So again he started to ask, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೀನ ಬರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Okay. No one knows where he buried the key. So ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೀ ಬರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಊಟ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. Nobody knows, Mary said with a careful answer. But it was too late to be careful. He was too much like herself. He too had nothing to think about. The idea of a hidden garden attracted him. He asked question after question. Where was it? So what happened? He was very curious to know about that. ಯಾಕೆ ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? What was that garden? Even I wanted to, he wanted to see that. He was feeling that ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ. So he was going on asking question after question, children. Question ಮೇಲೆ question ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಡ್ದ. Okay, so where was it? ಎಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು? And she never looked for the door. ಆ ಡೋರ್ನ ಹುಡುಕೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ? she never asked the gardeners, and the gardenersನ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ವಾ ಈ ಡೋರ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಲಾಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ. So they won't talk about it, said Mary. So Mary said that if I ask also, they won't give any answer about that secret garden. Okay, ಯಾರು ಏನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. I think they have been told not to answer questions. ಸೊ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನರ್ಸ್ won't tell anything about this secret garden. I would make them, said Colin. So what Colin said that I can make them to ask, ಅಂದ್ರೆ I can make them to speak out about this garden. ನಾನು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Okay, could you? Mary flattered, beginning to feel frightened. So ಮೇರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ? She was little bit scared. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಭಯ ಆಯ್ತು. ಭಯ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ what she said, you will ask, could you? ನಿನ್ ಕೇಳಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯನಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ. Everyone is obliged to please me, he said. I would make them to take me there and I will let you go too. Don't you want to see the garden? So what happened, children? ಸೊ ಶಿ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಕಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟ, ನಾ ಕೇಳಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಯಾರು ನೋ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದೆಮ್, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಟೆಲ್ ಮೀ, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಮೀ ಶ್ಯೂರ್. ಸೊ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್, ನಿನಗೆ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಈ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೇರಿ. Yes, answered Mary in a low voice. So Mary said, yes, I wanted to see. She said in a low voice, children. Okay, I want to see that garden. He went on persistently. I want the key dug up and the door unlocked. So he said that I want to see that garden. ನಾನು ಆ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ನ ನೋಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಈ ವೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಪರ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದ, ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಸಿ ದಾಟ್. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ದ ಕೀ ಡಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಕೀ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕಿ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತೆಕ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಡೋರ್ ಅನ್ಲಾಕ್ಡ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೋರ್ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ದೆಮ್ ಓಪನ್ ದ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಆ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಮಿ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಚೇರ್, ನನ್ನ ಚೇರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಆ ಥರ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ. He had become quite excited, so he was very much excited about that garden. So he said all these things that he will make the garden to open. ಅದನ್ನು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗೇ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ he said to Mary. Understood, children? Yes, the story is very interesting, right? Yes, children. Yes. Yes, children. Let us go for the next page, that is page number 21. Yes. Mary's hands clutched each other. Everything would be spoiled, everything. So what did Mary say, children? She clutched her hand, ಅಂದರೆ ಕೈ grasp tightly, ಕೈನ ಗಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು. what she said, everything would be spoiled. ಇನ್ನೇನಾದರೂ ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? all the things will be spoiled, everything will be spoiled. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ, she said. Okay, oh, don't do that, she cried out. So please don't do that, ಆ ಥರ ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ she said. Why? He exclaimed, surprised. You said you wanted to see it. So what happened? Why? The boy was what? ಅವನಿಗೇನೋ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು. Why this girl is telling like this ಅಂತ. So he asked the girl, that is Mary, that why? ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು? You said you wanted to see it. Even you said no, you wanted to see the garden. Said who? Boy. Okay. Yes, children. Colin. That is Colin. I do, she answered almost with a sob in her throat. But if you make them open the door, it will never be a secret again. So what Mary said, children, yes, even I wanted to see that garden, she answered. But if you open the door, what happens? Then again it will not be a secret. ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಅದು ಜಾಗ ಕಂಡಿಡಿದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಾ? No. So she said, now that if you show for everyone, and if we don't keep it in a secret, then it is not a secret again. A secret ಆಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. He leaned forward. A secret, he said. What do you mean? Tell me. So the boy kneeled forward. ಅಂದರೆ ನೀಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊರಗಿದ್ದವನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದ. A secret? ಏನು secret ಇದು? What do you mean? ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಇದರದು? Tell me please, said Colin to Mary. Mary's words almost stumbled over one another. Means Mary ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು she started to speak out. Okay, you see, she panted. If no one knows but ourselves, if there was a door hidden somewhere under the ivy, we could slip through it together and shut it behind us, and no one knew anyone was inside. So what did Mary say, children? She panted. Panted is nothing but a quick breathing. ಜೋರ ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. what she said that if no one knows but ourselves, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ about that secret garden, only if we know, ನಮಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ, what happens if there was a door hidden somewhere under the ivy? Hidden somewhere under the ivy, we could slip through it together and shut it behind us, and no one knew anyone was inside. So what she's trying to say, children, ಆ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ನಮ್ಮಿಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕೋ ಅವಾಗ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡೋರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಸೊ nobody will know that, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So that only we both can play there, and also it will be as a secret. Understood, children? Yes. And we called it our garden. We could play there and watch the roses grow, Oh, don't you see how much nicer it would be if it was a secret? So what did Mary say, children? So our garden namdu matra agirutte. So we can play there and we can watch the roses grow. Andre alliro garden alliro roses ella grow agadna ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ನಾವು ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಟ ಆಡಬಹುದು. And also oh, don't you see how much nicer it will be? So ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಆ ತರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ if it is been as a secret ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? Mary said to Colin. Understood, children? Yes. Colin dropped back on his pillow and there was an odd expression on his face. So Colin, what he did, he dropped back again to his pillow. Andre matte godege I mean on the bed he was sitting, no, a cot ge orkotane. Okay, pillow, you know, no, children? Yes. So there was an odd expression on his face. ಅವನ ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂಥರ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. I never had a secret, he said. So I feel almost sure I can find out how to get in sometime. And then I could push you in your chair. We could go alone and it would always be a secret garden, Mary continued. So Mary, what she said, children, ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ವೆರಿ ಸೂನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದಿ ಕೀ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ದ ಕೀ, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ದ ಕೀ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಚೇರಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕುಡ್ ಗೋ ಅಲೌನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ನಾವಿಬ್ಬರೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾರ್ಡನಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ಲೇ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್, ಮೇರಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಡ್. ಮೇರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ಲು. Okay, I should like that, he said very slowly, his eyes looking dreamy. I should like that. I should not mind fresh air in a secret garden. So what happened, children? So then what happened for Colin? Later, very slowly, Colin realized that yes, what Mary is telling is true. What Mary said is true. So that yes, ಅದೆರಡು ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಆದರೆ ನಾವಿಬ್ಬರೇ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೇಕೋ ಅವಾಗ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ಇನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಐಸಸ್. ಅವ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣು ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಡ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಾಸ್ ಡ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಈ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಅವಾಗ ನಾನು ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಏರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಸೊ we both can go to the garden and enjoy there anta ibru they both were what talking about the secret garden. Understood, children? Hope you understood the lesson. artha aita everyone? Yes, children? Yes. So that I will stop here and later I will give the notes and send you through WhatsApp, children. Complete your notes. Okay. And later we'll go for the grammar part, children. Understood? So hope you all have understood the story. Okay, this is a story nothing but just about a boy who was sitting in a dark room and Mary will try to find out, and later they will talk about the Eden garden and they think that let us keep a secret about the garden so that only we both can play there. Okay. This is a story of I am Colin.